So it's important for us to understand what is it meant by worldview. According to philosophers Stephen Cowan and James Spiegel, a worldview is a set of beliefs, values, and propositions concerning life's most fundamental issues. It also influences how we see things, and it shapes our interpretation of the world. In other words, it means that our worldview is like our tinted glasses, how we see the world and how we interpret certain experiences and events in our lives. So we also need to understand specifically the branches of philosophy because it helps to shape our worldview. So the first one is logic. Logic investigates the principles of right reasoning. It asks questions focusing on when a conclusion can be legitimately drawn from a premise and when. The next one is epistemology, the study of knowledge and justified belief. It asks questions such as can humans obtain knowledge and what kind of knowledge can they obtain. The next one is metaphysics. This is the study of being or reality. It answers questions such as is matter real? Is the mind real? And what about space and time? The next is anthropology, or the study of human beings or man. This concerns with, what is the nature of man and what are we composed of? And perhaps another question would be what happens whenever we die? But that would, of course, also bleed into a theological question as well. But we need to continue on and look at the value theory. This is the study of ethics and aesthetics. It covers the topics such as what does it mean for something to be right or wrong, or beautiful or ugly? Now, before we set out to critique a worldview, we need to understand a couple of things beforehand. The first thing we need to understand is we need to seek to understand where an individual is coming from. And the question is, how do we do that? We do that by familiarizing ourselves with their material, whether it be in written form, whether it be a video, whether it be an audio, or just familiarize yourself with their material. I'll give you an example in my own life. I have picked up the study of Islam because I really find it to be problematic with regards to its theological understandings and its influence on the world. But I just haven't went out to critique it. I have sought to understand Islamic theology, and I have read portions of the Quran, the Hadith, which is primarily the teachings of Muhammad with regards to the Sahih narrations, which is Bukhari and Muslim, and I have also purchased the Sharia law manual. So I have brought together the important material in order to understand where the Muslim is coming from. So that's what I want to stress here, that we need to familiarize ourselves with the material of those we disagree with. But even before we critique them, we also need to come to a place where we can say that we understand where they're coming from, but then we are free to disagree. So we need to understand that we need to understand where they are coming from. We can't just blatantly disagree with them because we disagree. We need to understand what they believe. That way we can accurately represent their position, and therefore that would mean that we are not caricaturing their position and we are not building a straw man of their position. So when we do that, we would be building, if we take their material and then we critique it based on their arguments, then we would ultimately be building a steel man of their position. So that's what I want us to focus on, that we need to see with regards to how somebody's worldview impacts how they see the world and the philosophical underpinnings of that worldview in order for us to appropriately understand and critique a theology or understanding that we view as in error. I want to thank you for watching.